Hi, my name is Kamillah Ong. I was asked to share a little bit with you about my experiences doing internships while I was a student at DePaul. Just for a little bit of background about myself, I completed a bachelor's degree in English from DePaul. I later went on to complete a master's degree in higher education at Loyola University Chicago. In my current role, I work as an academic advisor for film and animation students at Columbia College Chicago. I would say that doing internships during both of my stints in higher education were very helpful for me, especially in terms of meeting other professionals in fields that I was interested in, and also being able to connect what I had been learning in the classroom and being able to see in a concrete way how that could play out in a job opportunity. For the internships that I did while I was at DePaul, my primary internship was as the Graduate and Career Resource Intern in the office that's now known as the Office of Multicultural Student Services. In that role, I worked to compile various resources for students who are interested in completing advanced degrees after they graduated from DePaul. So that involved helping to put together workshops, compiling information, editing flyers, and putting together a weekly e-newsletter that was distributed by our office. For my other role, I considered it to be an internship while I was at DePaul. I'm sure many of you are familiar with DePaul's Chicago quarter. I served as a Chicago quarter mentor for my sophomore, junior, and senior years while I was at DePaul. In that role, I had the opportunity to teach an hour-long workshop with actually my internship supervisor was the staff member that I was paired with, and we helped students to understand various campus resources and help them with their transition to DePaul as new students. As far as how my internships helped me, I would say that they were most helpful to me because they exposed me to a professional atmosphere. Those positions were really my first taste of what it was like to work in a professional environment, and it also helped me to gain work experience. So that was helpful in a couple of different ways. First, for the practical reason that it gave me experience that I could cite on a resume, but it also helped me to really understand how I could take what I had been learning in the classroom as an English student and connecting that to how I could contribute and add value in an office or within an organization. I think one of the things that can be very difficult being an English major or being a liberal arts major is figuring out how the skills that we learn and hone while we're studying can translate into the career world. So things like being able to analyze information, being strong writers, being strong editors, being able to take large quantities of information, digest it, break it down, and summarize it in a clear and concise way. Those skills can be very valuable, and they're things that we use very readily as English majors, but it's not always obvious either on a personal level or in terms of communicating that to a potential employer about how those are things that can help add value to an organization. So my internships really allowed me to do that. I was able to use my skills as an English major in both of my internships, and I was able to draft material. I wrote and edited an e-newsletter. I was very good at organizing and doing research, and those are definitely ways that I was able to contribute and things that helped me to gain confidence in the skills that I had and really start to imagine how I could transition from being an undergraduate student to working in the workforce. For things that I would suggest or give as advice to those of you who are doing internships before you graduate, the two things that I would suggest are to, one, be open to every opportunity to learn, especially in an internship or even in our day-to-day professional lives. It's not always going to be glamorous, but there's always an opportunity to find things to learn, so be positive in that respect. And the second thing that I would suggest is to take ownership of your position. Treat it as a real job. Show up on time. Be looking for opportunities to contribute. One of the things that I've found to be most valuable in internships that I've worked with is the interns that take ownership, meaning look for ways that you can contribute. So even if it's not something that you were told directly to do, maybe there's a problem or a challenge that comes up that you have the time and you have the motivation and you have the skills to be able to help fix, even if it's something that you weren't asked to do. And that's something that I think is especially valuable, someone who's just ready to learn and who treats an internship as a real job. But I hope that was helpful for you, and good luck with everything that you do before you graduate.